I want to turn now to Todd.
Hello,
Chuck, great to have you here. When you heard about this conspiracy theory, the last 24 hours, did it surprise you that it kind of went mainstream so quickly?
No, I mean, this is the ecosystem that we have now, especially, I mean, we really are so fragmented, right, in certain ecosystems. Look, I spend a lot of time when in the morning with a whole sorts of newsletters. One of them is called NewsGuard. This is Stephen Brill, who's been trying to clean up journalism for a long time, and they actually did a pretty good forensic study of how did this get to where it got. And this was really, as much as they pointed out, that this was less a Trump-fueled conspiracy than a Marjorie Taylor Greene, that she was the true supercharger of this. But, Bannon, this is sort of Bannon's M.O. Bannon is a misinformer. It's intentional, right? I don't know whether it's mis or dis is the correct grammatical word to use here, but this is a feature, not a bug, right? It's sort of misdirection constantly. And notice what we're not talking about, that they found more classified documents next to his bed.
There you go.
Right? It feels like an intentional misdirection on, hey, pay no attention to the actual news. Pay attention to this sort of manufactured news here. It's sort of like, I remember there was an old beer called Keystone, and they used to say, hey, our beer's in specially lined cans. All beers in specially lined cans. But if it's sort of a similar thing here.
Chuck, I've been noticing in the last couple of years, I'm sure you have too, how much of a contradiction is here? The Republican Party used to want to bill itself as the party of law and order. Over the last few years, it keeps talking about the deep state. And here, what about going after the FBI's policy of the use of deadly force? Doesn't this go against everything the Republican Party, at least of several years ago, claimed to be?
But there is, I mean, this is when it's Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is not that Republican Party. This is not the point, and the point isn't even to whether you're supporting or not supporting. The point is to win the moment, right? Win this news cycle, whatever it is. Win the day, and in some ways, that's all Donald Trump has been doing. What can he do to create a firestorm today that distracts people from focusing on this over here? Sometimes this is his trial. Sometimes this is some scandal. Sometimes this is a bad poll, but every day, this is, and I kind of think sometimes we all take the bait collectively. Sometimes we're forced to because the FBI has to put out a statement on these things. But this does feel like a story that in some ways we've reported on it more than the actual spreading of the story itself.
So, Chuck, I want to turn now to your column from today. The campaign shakeup that Biden needed. Does the president stand to benefit more than Trump with this new debate that was scheduled?
Does he stand to benefit more? I don't put it this way.
Well, the stakes are higher for
the point was he couldn't afford to wait till September. You cannot. The summer is gone already. The two conventions aren't a place to move message for voters that you need. And the Olympics are the Olympics. Right. And I think this Olympics in particular, because it's Paris, I think Americans are really going to be focused on it. It's going to be a tonic of a distraction. Like, we're going to be excited about it. And I don't just say that because I work here. I really mean it. I think we're desperate to feel unified, and this will be a moment for that. He couldn't afford to wait till Labor Day to do this. And, he has to at least, and if it's really bad, he has more time. Right? Okay. He has more time to recover. But I do think the likely outcome is the country looks at this and goes, ugh.
Yeah.
And that this ends up being a shockingly good moment for a guy named Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
To that point, can President Biden recover from a bad debate performance? Would it be disastrous for him? Is it possible for him to recover? And what is a bad debate performance?
That's what I was just going to say. Is it where somehow Trump has decidedly won the debate and Biden doesn't? I mean, I don't want to speculate at what that looks like. If things get really bad, there's going to be a lot of hand-wringing in the Democratic Party, and the convention hasn't started yet.
And what about a bad performance for Trump? What does that do to his case?
I don't know if a bad performance matters with him. It could hurt short-term, may hurt financially, but it's not like you have a bunch of party elders that wish Trump would go away. Trump purged the party elders. On the Biden side, there are a bunch of party elders that are not as convinced their nominee's the guy. So if you would look at it, if Trump falls on his face, I don't know who would push him out. If Biden falls on his face, there are a lot of people that might want to push him out. That's probably what I would argue is the two differences in the way both parties view their nominees right now.
Todd, always good to have you here for your expertise.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.